how do you manage a portfolio that's so broad? I mean, it's not easy.
No, it's not easy. But first of all, I think one of the way that we create operating leverage around the altcoin space is that we advise and support them. So we're actually much more engaged with many of the projects than just the silent investor, right? So we have an entire infrastructure that's built around supporting them. But the second thing, and I think this is a real game changer versus, the traditional form of VC, which is you don't really need a dedicated portfolio manager because you can create network effects between your portfolio because it's all on chain. Much easier, right? Like you don't have to have an API or a contract to use that. Remember, if you're a VC and you want to create, synergies, I hate that word, but synergies basically between, two companies, you can come together, they sign an agreement, there's an MOU, they bring team people in, all that kind of stuff. And blockchain is like, oh, I've got an app chain. Here's my API. I'll feature you. I'll give you support, but you can just build everything yourself, right? Or I'm a marketplace like OpenSea or Magic Eden or one of those guys in our portfolio. We'll just make the introductions. Okay, I can support you this way, but that's it. They don't have to sign a contract. They don't have to have funky API integrations. It just build on chain. Here's the asset. Here's my audit report or whatever it is. There's so many open ways that you can do so. It's basically open source, right? And so it's kind of like, how do you manage open source? Well, it kind of manages itself as long as you bring them together. And I don't want to sort of, make it too trite or oversimplified. There is, of course, a human part that's there. But the power of blockchain is the self-organizational capabilities that it has because of its rule-based structure. There's a structure that you all know the rules on. You may not agree on all the rules, but they are the rules, right? And so you build on top of them. And so you can really leverage this kind of infrastructure on top if you know what you're doing. And I think a lot of classical VCs aren't really leveraging the on-chain dynamics, right? They're more like, I make an investment and, basically you do what you do, and then sort of you do the portfolio report. But much of the stuff you can even measure on-chain. Like I don't need your, like statistics, if you're on-chain, I can see that. TVL, I can see that, right? Like these are things that you can already measure without really needing someone to send you a monthly report or quarterly report, which by the time you get a quarterly report is really, really bad or really, really good news, right?